Oh, what's going on, guys? I apologize for the dog in the background. That was my dog trying to chase a Asian man away from his him selling food to us. So Suzaku X7 asks you, are you going to be doing an LP of Kingdom Hearts soon?
Ooh, I'd kind of like to, but I've heard a lot of stories of people like who are more popular. Well, not really stories, but Chugga said something one time about the reason he wouldn't do Kingdom Hearts is because of all the different copyrighted characters that are in it, like Disney characters and Square characters and stuff like that, and so he's worried that it would get him in trouble. And I've kind of had second thoughts since he said that. So it's not so much for a lack of wanting to do the games as it is just
precaution.
Precaution, yeah.
I know a couple of big name ones, like Seamus SSOHPKC. He's doing part 2 right now, and he already did part 1. So I don't know. That's up to you if you want to take that risk.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's I like, for some reason, I don't know, I like Kingdom Hearts 2 more than 1.
Same here, definitely. Part 2 was a lot more story driven, and it was faster paced. I like that a lot more.
That's true.
Part 1 was really slow, but I'm gonna ask both these questions. But if I'm right, you already did. So I don't know. But will you LP Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2? Asked by TLYR, so Tyler 2201 and FD Jones 1. But didn't you already do those?
I did Mario Galaxy 2, but I have not done the first one.
Okay, I thought I saw part 1, but that might have been just part 2. I haven't played
I think
either.
Super Mario Galaxy would be more of a last resort. Like, if I didn't have anything else to do, I might go back and do it.
Yeah.
But because of how similar the games are, it almost seems like overkill to do the first one.
Yeah.
Unless I was just out of Mario games and there hadn't been anything else for a while. Then maybe I would. But even then, I still haven't finished it myself, so...
Alright. The Sparky50 asks, what are your favorite old and new Mega Man games?
Ooh, nice one. My favorite old Mega Man games are pretty much 1 through 5. Yay. I like all of them. I'm not too crazy about 6, but then again, I didn't grow up playing it, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
And I like Mega Man X and X2, and to some extent, X3.
Okay.
But again, that's because I grew up with X. I didn't find X2 and X3 until like about 5 years ago. So it's kind of surprising that I actually like them so much, but I guess maybe the reason I do is because they're so identical as far as how they play to the first one. But that's pretty much all. I haven't really played any of the 3D ones before, and I don't know if I could really get into that or not.
They're all right. They're not marvelous. All right. Let's see. Okay, Super Mario 6458 says, "Do you think you will ever LP any of the old Sonic games for the Sega Genesis?"
Ooh, I might do Sonic 2 someday, because that's really the only Sonic game I've played, but I played the living crap out of it, and I got really good at it. So, yeah, I might do that someday, just to throw people off or something, just for the shock value of it.
Yeah, Sonic, definitely a game I grew up with. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. IB Lightning says, "What song always makes you happy when you hear it?"
Lately, the song Echo by Vertical Horizon seems to catch me, bring me up. And that's like, it's been for a few months now. I've been listening to that like all the time. Don't Drink the Water by Dave Matthews Band. I'm listening to a lot of that lately. Even though it's a really depressing song. It's kind of,
it's a good song, though. Yeah. It is a really good song.
Abacab by Genesis. That's really good. That one gets me going.
Alright. Are you going to be going back to Final Fantasy X? Asks Secret 450.
Yes. Yes, I will. Eventually. It's just a matter of me getting in the mood to go back to it again.
Definitely. Final Fantasy games, I'm the same way. I gotta be in the mood to play them.
Yeah. Plus, there's a whole thing where I told people I was going to show them the Dark Aeons, but that's going to require that I start a whole new playthrough on the PAL system and go through the whole game again. So, and that's going to get me worn out on the game again, which is going to. So I don't know.
This person asks again what character would you be? Which, if you look back at another episode, he said Link.
Yep.
And a nice little backstory to that, so go watch the other episode if you haven't seen it already. Um, how old were you when you first moved out and started living on your own? I'm just curious because in a few years I'll reach this stage in my life. And if you're moving to Seattle, will M Polo stay in your current apartment or find another place or even come with you? And this is from Trunks Trevelane.
Oh, okay. When I first moved out, that wasn't. I actually was kind of a late bloomer in that department. I lived with my parents till I was 22, 21. No, maybe I was 20. Well, basically, part of the reason I stayed with them was because I wanted to help them pay their bills because they were always in trouble and all this stuff. And then we moved to Wisconsin, and that was 98, so I would have been 22. Okay, so I guess I was 22. And I lived with my dad up there for a year. Then I moved out and lived with my sister. So I guess you could say I moved away from my parents when I was 23. But then I lived with my sister, but I was paying my own rent then. But the first time I got my own place was in May of 2003. So that wasn't until I was, I was 26 then. So yeah, so the first time I had my own place, I was 26, which seems kind of crazy, but yep. And as far as moving to Seattle, well, Polo staying here, I'm assuming he'll probably stay here. I don't know. I might just sign the lease over to him or something.
Yeah.
Depends on how things go.
Okay. Tim, how old were you when you started your first LP by Whoopsie Daisy 1?
How old was I when I started my first LP? I would have been 32, I think. 31. 31, actually, yeah.
Okay.
Unless you count the tapes I made when I was little, because I had one from November 24th of 1992, which is me talking and playing Castlevania 2. And I was holding the microphone with one hand and playing the game with the other hand. So I was playing it with one hand.
How did...
So
I don't understand that, but okay.
So you want to count that as an LP, I guess. And then I would have been, 15? I was 16 then.
All right. I know you already answered this in another one of your videos, but Yoshi Quest asked, where do you get the phrase "in the bathroom" from, and how did it become your catchphrase?
Oh, I pretty much got it in the bathroom. There you go. I got it from the Weird Al song, the Complicated song. And it's just one of those lines that sounds so stupid. It's like, because I don't know, I've explained this before, but yeah, it just sounds kind of, half-assed for a Weird Al line. It just doesn't sound right. I mean, when you isolate it by itself, you realize how stupid it sounds. So I just did that, and that's how I get people to notice things, is I repeat. Like when you play 2 seconds of a song and it doesn't sound right unless you hear the rest of the song before and after it, but you just play that little bit of it and it sounds wrong. That's kind of what I do sometimes. Yep.
All right. Tim, what is your favorite song of all time?
My favorite song of all time is Gray Street by Dave Matthews Band. But not too long ago, it was actually Come Sail Away by Styx. So it's kind of a tie between those two, I guess. But
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Fishmon14 said that.
Fishmon. Cojito.
All right, Clan EV. All right, with an extra... I think that might be right. Extra E at the end. I don't know. But NintendoCapriSun, what is your favorite book?
Favorite book. Favorite book is probably Misery by Stephen King, because I've read it so many times, it's just unreal.
That is a great book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Okay.
I don't really read that much, but I like that one. And I like Catcher in the Rye, too. So
Catcher in the Rye's good. All right. This one says, how did you, Chugga, and Proton form the Runaway Guys? Like, was it planned out before PAX, or did you guys all awesomely meet by chance?
It was all pretty much Chugga's idea. He just came to me and Proton and said, you guys want to make a collaboration channel? And we're like, sure. So he said, well, we're going to this thing called MagFest. We could record then. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. And that was the whole reason I went to MagFest, and that's how I got hooked on all these conventions. Now I'm going to every single one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was pretty much all the Meals idea. So. All
right. I think... okay, that was by Assailant ALF. My bad. I keep forgetting to say the names. We go to the next one, which is by Spoony. An extra O there.
Spoony!
What is your favorite LP by someone else, and what is your favorite LP?
Of my own.
Yeah, of your own. His is Earthbound, simply because that was when I first discovered you.
Oh. Probably my favorite LP by someone else is Metroid Prime by Lansoon. I could just watch that a million times and never get sick of it. It's so freaking funny. And my favorite LP of my own, I'd probably have to go with the fans and say Majora's Mask. Because that was really, like... And I think that has more to do with the game being great than the LP. I don't know. So if I was judging solely based on LP qualities, I don't know what I'd even say then.
Okay. I definitely agree with them. Majora's Mask. Great game. Great LP by you. So, good job.
Yeah, thanks.
Sage Mage 1. This isn't a question. He just said this, but I think this is nice. NCS only takes 2 words to describe him. Amazingly Nintendolicious.
Nintendolicious. Nice. I like that.
Alright.
Yeah.
We're going to page 6 of these comments. God.
Wow.
Alright. Okay. This is by Le Coffee Bandit.
Hey, Coffee Bandit, what's up, dude?
Alright. You always mention your tapes in your LPs and vlogs. When and where did the legendary tapes start?
Okay, you can go to Google Maps and look up 310 Lewis Circle in Commerce, Georgia, zip code 30565. That's the house that I lived in when it started. It has like a U-shaped driveway. And I was in that house on the night of January 27th, 1992. My dad and mom were divorced, so it was just my dad and sister. And he had taken her out to basketball practice, which she didn't want to do, but he kind of, I guess, talked her into it just to get us out of the house or something. And so I always enjoyed those nights because I got to be by myself. And so I started making tapes of because he had this microphone set up and he was using it to make music. And I thought, I got these tapes here. I wonder if I could try talking and just see what happens. So I started talking about my life, like venting my frustrations because I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I thought, well, let's make a record of it. And that's how it happened. And then I just got hooked on it and been doing it ever since.
Well, that's how the legend starts. He also asked another question, but I'm just going to refer you to a past question. Look in the videos somewhere, and all it is, are you planning to move to Seattle, and is Apollo coming with you?
Yeah.
So just look back on one of the other videos. He does mention both of those, okay? David G. Boogie asks, what kind of toilet paper do you use? Go ahead and say
in the bathroom. Oh, I usually use Scott Tissue just because it's cheaper. And there is a hidden Scott Tissue song somewhere in my Mario Sunshine LP. It was a tissue brand. It was Scott Tissue brand. It was Scott Tissue brand today, or something like that.
All right. This is asked by the Retro Nintendo. He asks, have you ever had a friend that you've never seen again?
Yeah, Max in 8th grade. I missed the hell out of him. I wonder where he is and if he's still okay and doing okay.
He's probably watching this like, I'm so glad he remembers me.
Yeah, Max Sauls, S-A-U-L-S. If anybody knows a Max Sauls that lives around Commerce, Georgia, tell him about this video, because it's Timothy Bishop. I miss him. I miss you, Max. So there. I love you. Yeah. No, not really, but not like that.
Okay, we're going to do this question, and then, a little break so I can do something real fast, but before the next part. This one says, will you partner up, this is from Romenda98, or 90, yeah, 98. We already talked about this, but will you partner up with IGN and receive all the money and recognition you deserve? I threw that in there because they're pretty much like praising you, so.
I don't deserve shit, but I'm happy with what I got, and I think it's a miracle enough that I make what I do. Like, just to make anything at all for the crap that I do is, like, ridiculous, so I'm perfectly happy with that. I don't need to be a millionaire.
Okay.
Or even 100,000-aire.
Alright, so I have lost track completely of which number this is. I think this is number 4, right?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a little break real fast to go do something, and we'll come back for part 5.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so stay tuned.